Hello, this is Jay from daytradingsupport.net. We're actually replaying the market from Friday. So right now what we're going to show you is a setup on crude oil that created looks like around 8:30 this well, on Friday morning it would have been. So I had taken a trade. I was speaking to my friend Laurent, and we had a discussion about range bars. And I remembered back in the day when I was trading range bars, so I wanted to do a video kind of highlighting range bars. So on my left screen, on the left chart, what we're looking at is a four range chart. So these bars um, actually print a bar every time the price moves out or above four ticks. So either below the previous bar or above the previous bar, it must move to the fifth tick to print the previous bar. Um, so right now, what happened was we actually took a momentum trade on the to the downside when price started showing weakness from its run up and close to the market open, it started to show weakness. So what happened was we ended up taking a trade to the downside, just that momentum, and that range bar worked great for that. We could see the momentum right when it escaped to the downside and gave us the clue because we had broken this area of support. Of course, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, we broke this area, and we were in the negative territory at that point. Now, right now, we're actually in a trade. I wanted to show and illustrate how the strongest um, the strongest area of probability occurs on the 610 chart here at the 50%, or I'm sorry, the 50 period moving average, which is these crosses. You can see the center of the Keltner channel. This is a 50 period exponential moving average. So that's our strongest area of probability on a pullback. Um, and I use it in the anchor chart on my right. My 610 chart is my anchor chart. And on the left, I have my entry chart, which is a faster moving chart. And so this four range, typically I'll use a 233 chart, a 233 tick chart. But this four range does equally as well for an entry, a faster moving chart. So we're just letting this trade make its way down, and we're going to retest the previous area of support. And I'm going to move my stop a little bit out of my way. Oh, actually, it's already moved out of my way. I'm gonna place it right above my pivot point. And just based on that strong momentum, you can see these MACD BB lines crossed over uh, when we took that momentum trade. That's what kind of gave me the clue that I wanted to get into that going short when it crossed over into that territory. Now, previously we crossed over into negative territory on the MACD BB lines way back here. That was at 8 o'clock, and then we had buyers enter the market and take the thing higher. So I was using caution there, but after we broke through, after the MACD BBs broke through into the negative territory, um, and then they couldn't seem to make a new high, and then they broke that area, that low area, and that's when we got short because it showed that it was going to be taking momentum to the downside. I'm going to lock in the profit on this right behind this 20 period moving average, and it stopped me out at 77 ticks. So I don't think if we take our trades from the real strong probable area, let's see here. Let's delete this out of the way. Delete this out of the way. Looks like we could have a lot more movement to the downside. I think I'm willing to enter in an order waiting here. If we break this area below, we could have some pretty strong momentum to the downside yet. So I just put an order waiting. If price moves below $34.21, if it touches that, it'll enter us into a trade. I just think we have a lot more momentum to the downside. We couldn't make a new low, so that's the reason why I'm not. I mean, there's no way to know. This pivot here, um, this pivot was not a new low. Our previous low is here, so support is really down here. So it makes me leery. This could actually reverse, but it looks on our MACD BB, we have a negative momentum. So there is a good chance we can come back and test this previous pivot and then break through that and head down to this earlier pivot, this earlier support that was made. So I'm just going to wait and see if it can touch my area. See if I can. I'm going to shrink this chart down a little bit in size so we can see more of it. And looks like it did not come to my price. See if we can get expanded view. There. So we'll see if we can break above this pivot to the high, and if we break above that, maybe we'll see some upward momentum. Um, well, it looks like we might. Yep, there we go. We're triggered in. Okay, so now we should come down and test this previous support area. So that's a good spot for my target. If I don't want to use a target, I actually could bring it down closer to this um, earlier support and then just lock in my profit once this moves 10 ticks. If I can move two range bars down, I'll be willing to put my stop a little bit above break even. Just want to wait for that second range bar to form. And I don't mind placing my stops in above these cloud areas, which is my 50 period and my 20 period moving averages on my range chart, my entry chart. And it looks like we just moved down, so now I'm willing to place my stop above this previous range bar. So in the new bar, even if it comes up and tests my area, I'll still lock in some profit. I have a feeling we're going to move another. Each time it makes a new range bar, I'm going to lock in the profit at the previous bar. So as soon as this next one forms another print, oh, it's coming back and testing. See, now notice how we're very close to that area of that previous support. It's testing that area. So either it'll reject and make a double bottom, or it will break through, and our next point will be close to where I have this target on my 610 chart, which it's not confirmed yet, but it did break actually below. Technically, it broke the previous support price. That's a good sign. Oh, it's coming back and testing. Very close to getting stopped out, but I didn't get stopped out. There it broke down below. We should easily come to the next now and test the previous support that was made at 8 o'clock this morning. So I'm going to lock in a little more profit just above this range bar that printed. Okay, now it's just waiting. Now at $120 on this trade, I wouldn't even mind locking in the profit um, right above the four range that is currently being made, just because that's $100 easy, and it's still got more steam. Now I'm also watching my 1 minute chart, which I use as my tachometer. It gives me a gauge of how many entrants are coming into the market. You can see that right now there's a battle between buyers and sellers on this 1 minute bar. It's changing from green to red to green to red. So it still could have some more steam. What I'm going to do now that I see that there's buyers and sellers just battling it out here, coming close to this area where my target is, I'm going to put my target. I might get stopped out here. I think I'm actually going to move my stop a little bit higher, just because if I can give it a little bit of room to breathe here. Yeah, and that might be the end of the move right there, because I do see some buyers coming in. I could stop myself out right there, and that was $130. So that's good. Now it's going to come back, I imagine, because we see some buyers coming in on my 1 minute chart. So you can kind of see we're putting this all together. We have all of these um, pieces of information that we're able to decipher. Some of the clues coming from my anchor chart, over here on the right, which I have some areas of support and resistance drawn. We have some clues from the MACD BB lines, the red dots and blue dots. And of course that zero crossover point, which gives us a clue, kind of negative bias or I mean short bias or long bias. And then we have, of course, the RSI lines, which actually are directly correlated and related to the MACD BB lines. We also have our minute chart, sort of a tachometer, which gives us a lot of clues as far as how many entrants, how much volume there is, and what kind of volume. We take turns from sellers. Looks like 4 bars of, or I'm sorry, 4 bars of buyers, and then looks like we have some sellers took over. Then 2 bars of buyers. Wasn't enough. We had a whole bunch of sellers. So you can see how they take turns in their moves. So you can almost time out just on the volume prints. You can gauge the market and see, how long until each pivot is made. So there's some other clues that we're getting that add confirmation to what kind of trade we want to take and how long we want to hold it. Of course, on this four range bar chart, this gives us a really good gauge of momentum. When we broke out here from this area, we're testing this area of support, and then when it broke out that print, or I'm sorry, actually, what I was looking for was actually over here. Yeah, here's the one. When we were right here in this area, and when we broke to the downside, as it came and started to come close to that area of support, I took my entry and rode that down for like 10 ticks. So, and that was after a run up. That was after a very strong run up, going long. So it reversed, and I put that together, of course, with my BB lines. Kind of gave me the clue that we were going to the negative, or to the short side. And then on the retrace, my entry very close to my 50 period moving average on this chart, and of course the 50 period on my 610 chart. So those two lined up well. So I hope that helped, and we'll see you next time.